Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. That's 11 a.m. if you're in Australia or 1 a.m. if you're in the UK. Smurfberry Barbecue, over to you as well. Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. Remember guys, if you got any questions, feel free to pop into chat and ask me. If you just want to say hello in chat, that's always welcome. But if all you want to do is watch, that's completely fine. Remember too that if you do miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch page. You can watch back the live streams that way. Okay, so we're going to continue working on the House in the Hollow game, which you can wishlist now on Steam. Type exclamation Steam in Twitch chat or click the graphic in the About section of my Twitch page. We're working on the attic for that game. We're almost finished it. We're going to finish it this week. I'm determined to finish it this week. I'm just going to grab a drink. So we're finishing the cobwebs and then we're going to do the lighting. That's the plan. Okay, so we're going to jump straight into the Unreal Engine, Unreal 4.25.3. Epic Games have released 4.26 Preview 2, I think it is at the moment. But if you're making a game, don't use the preview releases of Epic Games, of Unreal I should say. Even Epic Games say don't use the preview releases for a production build because they can be buggy and the preview builds generally are. So if you're making a game, stick to the release build. Android Lust, thank you for the subscription. The 33-month subscription. Man, dude, you are awesome. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it, guys, when you sub to the channel. So thank you, Android Lust. I'm not sure if he's in the chat, in the stream yet, but I see he's actually posted a new image in the gallery, which looks incredibly creepy. I'll show that toward the end of the stream. Remember, guys, if you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, just type exclamation Discord in Twitch chat. We'll go to the About Me page on my Twitch channel page, and there's a graphic that you can join that way. Because there's a gallery where you can post your work, and I love looking at the stuff you guys make, and I love showing it on stream. If you don't want me to show it on the stream, just when you post the image, say, please don't show it on the stream, and I won't. Because I know not everyone's happy or comfortable with that, so. You are here. Good to see you, Android Lust. I hope you're well, and again, thanks for the sub. I really do appreciate it. You're awesome. 33 months, man. You're my second longest sub, I think. And yeah, the image is incredibly creepy, the one that you posted in the gallery, and I will show it toward the end of the stream. Okay. So I guess we should do some work, shouldn't we? I guess. Let's jump into Unreal. So we were working on the cobwebs. We're going to continue working on the cobwebs. You wish you could have made it. It looks pretty creepy to me. It looks pretty creepy. That creature down the bottom of the steps is incredibly creepy. I would not want to run into that. It looks good. And I'll show it, like I said, at the end of the stream. Okay, so we've just got a couple more corners here to cobweb up. So let's do that. Takes Phil's brain a minute here to get into the swing of things. Let's see. I do want to do some cobwebs on the ceiling, but we'll concentrate on the floor first. I am using NVIDIA's new broadcast engine, by the way, so we're testing it to see how it holds up. So I'm not using my physical green screen anymore. I'm using NVIDIA broadcast and using the virtual green screen. So I've read a couple of people saying that the software can conk out on them. I tested it yesterday for a good hour and it seemed fine. Not streaming, just watching it in OBS. But just a warning if it does conk out, but so far it's been fine. And it's actually impressive. The new version of the broadcast engine, they've done a really good job, NVIDIA. Considering it's doing it using AI to remove the background, it's impressive. Virtual green screen, that's right, it's a virtual green screen. Okay, I did notice though the colors are a little different. When your camera is pumped through the broadcast software, which is the virtual green screen from NVIDIA, it seems to change the color of the camera a little bit. Don't know why, but anyway. I tried to fix it as much as I can. I'm throwing a lot color correction and all that jazz in there. Let's copy this one. I'm so annoyed with myself I didn't put the pivot in the middle of the object. Bad film. Bad film. Let's turn angle snap on. So the plan is to oh man. The plan is to get at least the cobwebs all done today, so tomorrow's stream we can concentrate on lighting the level up. I mean, we may get it done sooner today because there aren't a lot of cobwebs left, so. I do want to just run through the level though to make sure that I've got all my little areas covered and there are no spots that we can improve on. This one I think I'll rotate around. Maybe like that. I'm going to put it over here. Actually rotate it a bit more. Let's get into a position where we can see what we're doing. Oh, I see. There's quite a gap between there and there. All right. That's okay. We'll duplicate it one more time and we'll put some cobwebs in this corner down here, I think. Yeah, it is impressive. When you consider that, yeah, like I said, the software is actually removing the background in real time. Because behind me there is nothing. There's just my apartment. There is no green screen behind me like there normally is. So the software is removing it all and just keeping me in frame. And it's doing a really good job. Like normally with software, I think XSplit, they make software that does virtual green screening, but if you've seen people using it, it's really bad. Like it can't find the edges and things. You see with my fingers, it's virtually fine. I'm going to pick up my phone because I know that when they demoed it at, I think it was GDC a couple of years ago, NVIDIA, a guy held his phone up and it removed the phone. It actually removes the phone. It keeps my hand. It's impressive, very impressive. And they're improving it all the time, so. Witchcraft, that's right, it is witchcraft. It's witchcraft. I knew you'd do that. It did take them a long time to release it because I know that they previewed it like a GDC 2018 or something, so it took a while. But they got there in the end, they did a really good job. I'm impressed. Good stuff, NVIDIA. And it's free. The one that you get from XSplit, I believe you actually have to buy. So this one is free if you have an NVIDIA card, of course. I don't think it'll work with an AMD card, unfortunately. And you do need one of the RTX video cards as well. It won't work with anything below 20 series. The virtual green screen. The part of the software does audio cleanup as well. That will work with any NVIDIA graphics card, but the virtual green screen, you need an RTX 20 series or higher. Could you wear a green? Yeah, no, you can. It's not based on the color anymore. Like traditional green screens, you chroma key out the background color, so usually it's green. It can be any color really. But with the AI one, it's as far as I'm aware, it's not actually looking at color. It's looking for a person and a chair. So it's sort of working. So basically, you can wear any color shirt you want now. So you can wear a green. I can wear a green shirt if I want to. where I couldn't before when I actually used the green screen, because then I disappeared. I'm going to scale this one down a little bit. So it is. It's very impressive. Okay, let us put one here. If I can get in there to select it, that is. So yeah, hopefully the software will hold up and it won't conk out and you'll see my terribly messy apartment in the background. Again, I'm just making sure the cobwebs sort of like are connecting up naturally. They're not sort of like floating in the air. So they're connecting to the barrel, to the wall, all that sort of jazz. We do have one here that isn't connecting anywhere. I've got a couple of options here. I can move this barrel in, or I can put something else there. What to do? I think we'll put another one of these candelabras back there. Andrew Lutz says, one less thing streamers need to buy. Yeah, look, setting up, because my green screen was portable, like it wasn't one that was set up all the time, because I mean I need to pull it in and out of the way when I was not streaming. Just the hassle of having to do that every time I stream was a major pain. So not having to do that alone is worth the price of using the software. And it's cheaper, of course, now, like you said, for streamers, because they don't have to buy one of these green screen setups. Not that you really have to. I mean, you can do it on the cheap. You can just buy green fabric. You can paint your wall green if you really wanted to behind your computer. But you don't need to do that anymore, now that the virtual green screen software is working so well. All this AI stuff, it's spooky. It's getting so clever now. Clever software. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, really. We're going to move the candelabra just where that cobweb is floating a little bit, so it looks like the cobweb is actually attached to it. Ready for ready for Cyberpunk. I am so ready for Cyberpunk. It's been so long. You know that they started making that game in 2012, 7 years ago. So they've taken a long time, but we're so close, weeks away now. The 19th of November is when Cyberpunk is due to be released. And I can't wait. I'm sure that CD Projekt Red are going to do an amazing job, because they did with The Witcher. It's one of my favourite games, Witcher 3. So I'm sure that Cyberpunk will be really cool as well. I mean, I don't know if you guys have read recently, there were those reports about crunch and stuff, and after CD Projekt Red saying they weren't going to do crunch. Smurf says, I don't think they really started dev until 2015. Yeah, that's probably right. I mean, usually when, depending on the size of the project, a AAA game, they'll take a year or two to do development work before they actually start full production work on the game. That's pretty normal. Smurf said they've said that after that trailer, they went all in on Witcher 3. Oh, I can understand what you mean. Yep. Still, even if they didn't start proper production till 2015, that's still 5 years. 5 years to be made. So this is the problem with open world games. There's just so much work to be done and so much testing to be done, because you never know what a player is going to do, if they can go anywhere and do anything. So not only does it take a lot of time to make that and to set it up and make it look pretty, and actually CD Projekt Red has said that they're not using procedural generation for their environments. They've actually done it all by hand. So it's all bespoke. That was the word I was looking for a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about setting stuff up by hand as opposed to doing it procedurally. It's all handcrafted or bespoke, so it's not procedurally generated. So that would have taken them a long time as well, because the world is so big. Smurf says it's huge. It is huge. Android Lust says, I read about the crunch. To be honest, I'd rather them delay it another month than to crunch. Yeah, look, I'm the same, but I only brought it up because it's really normal in the games industry to have crunch. Now, it's admirable that CD Projekt Red said, "Oh, we're not going to have crunch. We're not like other game studios. You know, we want to give our employees work-life balance." That's a good, admirable thing to do. But when you start approaching deadline or going gold for a game, is when a lot of the problems crop up that you didn't realise before. Like, you've been playtesting, and all of a sudden you find bug here, bug there, bug. You know. So having a crunch at the end, toward the very end of a project, is really normal for the games industry. So I'm not going to fault them for having just to maybe do a bit of a crunch at the end. But as Android Lust says, I'm happy with them to delay it again for another 4 weeks. I actually think, I read an article, like, I don't have any insider information on it, but I did read an article that said that they actually asked the employees if they wanted to delay again or if they wanted to go to crunch to meet the deadline. Now if that's true, then that's great. It's unusual for a game studio to actually ask their employees that. That's generally not something that, if you work for a games company, they're going to ask you. They're going to tell you got to go crunch. Because, delaying games, and because it's already had a couple of delays, constantly delaying can really start, particularly on a really high-profile project like Cyberpunk, can really start costing the studio a lot of money if they can't release it and start generating revenue. That and publishers as well. Publishers get really antsy when studios keep delaying and delaying and delaying, because, publishers want to make money. They've invested in the game and they want to see a return. So generally, I would say that would be very unusual for a studio to actually ask their staff whether they want to delay, because usually a studio isn't in a position to actually even offer that. So. Andrew Loss says, but I have a friend who bugs me about the release of Cyberpunk. Smurf says, there's even a big area outside of Night City and a whole back story for growing up in the Outlands. Yeah, no, it's a huge game. I think they said that the gameplay is not as long as Witcher 3, because they found during their testing and questioning people that people thought Witcher 3 was too long. I mean, Witcher 3 is a big game. But having said that, you have to remember too, even though Cyberpunk might not be as big as in spreading out on a landscape, Cyberpunk goes up. There's a lot of vertical sort of gameplay in Cyberpunk, in those big skyscrapers and all that sort of stuff. So when you compare the two, I think Cyberpunk is probably just as big, if not bigger, than Witcher 3 as far as the game world goes. So yeah, cut them some slack. They're one of the few games companies that respect players and don't try and milk you for every dollar you've got. Don't try and sell you loot crates and all that sort of stuff. EA. So you want to support a decent games company. Because not many of them are. Decent, that is. I mean, don't get me wrong, not all of them are bad, but there are some very bad ones around that you would not want to work for, let alone support them with your money by buying their games. I mean, I think I read an article not that long ago that said that EA were advertising loot crates in a children's toy catalogue or something. Come on, EA, come on. Man, you don't learn your lesson, do you? EA said it was a mistake, and of course that's what they all say when they get caught. Oh, it was a mistake. It was a misprint, or, you know. Right, sure it was. And I've got a bridge I want to sell you. Anyway, enough EA bashing. Just don't buy their games. Oh, Phil will never get a job with EA. They'll say, I recall a stream you did where you said really bad things about us. Andrew Doss says the future builds up and not out. That's right. That's right. The future builds up and not out. Smurfberry says surprise mechanics. Android Lust says, I forgot what game it was, but there was an indie studio who had a game that was very hyped up. They had so many delays on release that the hype died and people no longer cared. That's the problem if you delay too much. I think the majority of us gamers are pretty forgiving. I mean, we want a good game that's less buggy, so we're prepared to put up with delays. But if they delay too much, yeah, people just will either forget about the game, which is not good if you're trying to sell it, or they'll get pissed off because you've delayed it so much, which is equally not good, because then they won't buy it. We are getting a lot of that going inside the wall here, but the player can never come in here, so that should be fine. And let's put one around about here. Again, Smurf, you've got to control me if I start getting carried away with the cobwebs. Andrew Loss says majority are forgiving. Maybe there's a vocal minority who aren't forgiving. Yeah, but you're always going to find those people. Those people, regardless of whether it's a game or anything else in society. There are just, you know what I mean. There are just some people around that, yeah, there are just some really annoying people around. I'll put it that way. They won't be happy. They'll never be happy with anything. They like to complain constantly. You know what I mean. I'm sure you've met those sort of people. No matter what you do, you'll never satisfy everyone anyway. There's always going to be some people that aren't going to be happy about something or other. Smurf says there are no brakes on the spiderweb train. Well, there you go. We're going to have a room full of spider webs. There won't be any room to move. All gas, no brakes, Andrew Lust says. Okay. Ooh, I can get carried away with these spider webs. I really can. Actually, I think I might even put one that goes from here all the way down. If I have no restrictions on my spider webs, well then, you ask for it, you're going to get it. Smurf says like a freaking Minecraft abandoned mine shaft. That's right. I actually have never played Minecraft. Does that make me weird? I have never in my life played Minecraft. I always assumed it was for like little kids. I'm probably going to get hate for that, but yeah, I don't know. It's just the design style has never really appealed to me either. That blocky look that they make to it. Smurf says, those cave spiders can heck right off. So have you guys played Minecraft? Do you guys play Minecraft? Smurf says they don't get stuck in webs and they're tiny and fast. Oh, that sounds freaky because you know I hate spiders. They freak me out. And you know, I live in Australia, so I probably don't live in the best place in the world for someone that doesn't like spiders. I guess. I think I might have made this a bit big. I might just rotate it around a little bit as well. Unreal, don't do that. There we go. Android Lost says Minecraft can be fun and addictive and an addicting game. Yeah, look, I'm sure it wouldn't be as popular as it is if it wasn't fun or addictive. Smoker says it's been a few months since I last played, but yeah, I played a fair bit of it. Android Lost says I haven't played it in a while. It's owned by Microsoft now, isn't it? They own the license. Well, they control Minecraft. Might need to make it a bit bigger again. And I'm sure Microsoft would not have bought it if it wasn't a good owner for them. You see that they bought Bethesda. Microsoft bought Bethesda. Which I guess is a good thing, because it means that Bethesda might finally stop using that terrible Game Bureau engine. Oh. Android Love says, I bought Minecraft for about $5 in 2012. It's come a long way. Well, they actually have ray tracing in Minecraft now, so if you do have an RTX graphics card, you can turn ray tracing on in Minecraft. I know that. Smokeberry says, yeah, and they've been doing new things with it, like Minecraft AR and a new Diablo-like dungeon crawler. Well, okay. So it's not just about digging up the ground and chopping down the trees anymore, which is what I thought Minecraft always was. I might just separate these up a little bit. I think they're just a bit too close to each other. So we'll pull that one out there. I might leave that one in there. Android Love says Minecraft spawned so many clone-like games. Isn't that funny? You see a game becomes really popular, and other developers think, I want me some of that sweet gaming cash, and create a clone. Change the graphics, but make the game pretty much exactly the same. What's going on in the gallery on Discord? I see it's been updated. Oh, Smurf says, does it eat chocolate? It's creepy. It's a creepy thing. If you guys don't want to wait for me to show you Android Lust's image, he posted in the gallery, then you jump on the Discord server. but I will show it off toward the end of the stream. Okay, this corner over here. Let's go with the big one. Yeah. Let's rotate it around. I'm going to turn angle snap off now. I want a bit more control. Oh, that's going into our room downstairs. We can't have that. So let's scale it back just in one axis. Still going into our room. And it's still going into our room. Man, this spider web. Snowberry says that too. Andrew Loss says you leave the attic. Yeah, but it's in unlit mode, so they can't really see what it's like. And they're only seeing the top of the room here. There are some things you just... I need to check, so, you know, the studio are just going to have to deal with it, I'm afraid. I can't create the environment without actually moving into some of the other rooms sometimes. Let's scale it back a little bit. I'm not a miracle worker. I have to sometimes go in to check things, particularly like this, to make sure we don't have cobwebs sticking through the ceiling. Because that's not good. You can't have cobwebs in the ceiling. That's still just a little bit through the ceiling. That looks weird. That's parallax mapping we've got going on the ceiling in that room down there. Just for anyone watching and thinking, what is that? Scale it back a little bit more. Oh, it's still going into the room. So yeah, without the lighting turned on, people won't really have a good look at what the room is going to look like anyway, so they should be okay with that. Famous last words. Phil gets a call after the stream. We told you. There we go. Now we're not going through. We told you to stay in the room. You didn't listen again. We're very annoyed. No, they're pretty good. We do have a cobweb here that's hanging in the air that I'm going to have to do something about. So that one's attached to that, so that's all right. We need to put something up here in this corner. And maybe we can just put one of these tins up there because why not? Andrew Loss says, true, Bill leaves the room 10 times in under a minute. They know what I'm like. If I could do it without leaving the room, I would. Probably not. I probably would still leave the room. There we go. Just so we got something for the cobweb to actually latch to, so it's not floating in the air. Let me just move back so we can get a better overview of what's going on. All right, I think I was going to put a cobweb in this corner over here, but I think I'll refrain. But I do think I want to put one here. So let's copy this one. Sort of around the table and the bust there. I think it would look cool. Oh man, stop it. Okay, so again, we've got this problem where the cobweb is attaching to nothing just there. Let's move it down a little bit. So I need something here. What? What? What could I put there? What about height-wise? Okay, it needs to be something quite high. It has to go up at least that high. I could set something on one of the barrels. So what about if we copy this? We rotate it around so it's standing on its end. Sniper Girl, sorry, it's good to see you. How are you? I just noticed, I guess I caught up in doing my cobweb work. I didn't notice the chat. I'm doing really well. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see ya. I told Smokeberry to control me with the cobwebs, but he said no. Sniper Girl says, doing good. Been looking up some more photogrammetry guides and posted a good one on Discord that I found today. I noticed that. Now, there's, again, guys and girls, if you do want to join the Discord server, there's a tutorials and tips section there that you can check out that the users, members of the server have come across any useful tutorials. They post them in the tutorials and tips. And Sniper Girl posted one on photogrammetry in games development, which I actually haven't checked out yet, pardon me. It is for Unity, but as she says, it'll, whether it's for Unity, for Unreal, for CryEngine, they all work on the same principle. So anything mentioned, I'm sure would be good for any other game engine, not just Unity. So check it out. I'll check it out after the stream. Smurfberry did say, though, it's not a lightweight read, so... And we love the photogrammetry stuff, all the photogrammetry stuff. Again, photogrammetry in games now is something that's being used quite a lot. I'm just going to scale this up a little bit because I need it to be just a little bit bigger. Right. There we go. That should be good. Let's make sure we're actually on there. Yes, we are. But we can't have it sort of floating in the air like that. It needs to be more grounded. So I'm going to rotate it around. Because, you know, this wouldn't just float in the air off the edge of a tin like that. That's just a bit silly. But if we rotate it around a bit, maybe move it back a little bit. And because I don't want to move my other tins, what I might do is maybe we'll duplicate one more of these tins and we'll pull it forward and bring it over, maybe push it back a little bit, maybe rotate it around a little bit. And then we can just move these ones over a little bit. I might even pull them out a bit so that we can see them a bit better. They're sort of like hidden behind that tin now. Good. Now our web is nice and grounded. Sniper Girl says it's Unity, but only small parts of it deal with Unity. Most are external programs such as Reality Capture, which is great software. It's what I use. Talks about camera settings for photogrammetry, instructions on how to best capture various things. So it's a good general guide. I will check it out after the stream. Anything, I always like reading up anything to do with photogrammetry because you guys know I use it quite a lot. And I use Reality Capture. The Artsphere Studio, we generally use context capture there, but for my own private stuff, I use Reality Capture because it's GPU accelerated and incredibly fast and good. You can buy it outright or you can lease it, like rent it, subscribe to it, like Adobe software if you want. That's Reality Capture. Context Capture, I believe you have to buy it outright and it's incredibly expensive. Like, you know, we're talking $6,000 expensive sort of thing. That's US dollars. But it's really meant for professional work where you do a lot of, it's more than what people doing stuff for a hobby or even for an indie professional would need. So Reality Capture is, and I actually prefer Reality Capture. I think it's better. It's faster, it's cheaper, and it does a better job. But it's different to context capture. It's mainly, context capture is meant for big business, doing specialist sort of photogrammetry stuff. Like context capture can capture an entire city and turn that into photogrammetry. That's sort of like what it's used for. Reality capture is better for if you're just making models and you want individual stuff. It can still do big buildings and stuff, don't get me wrong. But and it probably could do a city, I guess. But context capture, that's where it sort of excels. It's actually like they've done Paris and major cities. They've turned them into photogrammetry using context capture. So. Sniper Girl says, really want good looking vegetation in the gas station scene, looking at making a light box for scanning surfaces and leaves. Yeah, well, that'll give you realistic looking vegetation for sure. When scanning vegetation using photogram, like if you're just doing leaves or twigs or even a log, photogrammetry software is fine. But if you're trying to capture an entire tree where the leaves are already on the tree, that photogrammetry software has a real problem with that because the leaves are constantly moving in the wind. Unless you can find an incredibly still day, the leaves are going to move a little bit, and that's going to mess up the photogrammetry. It's going to blur it. That and the fact too that SpeedTree, I use SpeedTree, and SpeedTree can take your photogrammetry tree trunks and logs and all that sort of jazz and create an actual tree from that actually moves in the wind and has destruction and all that sort of jazz. So that's generally what I would do. I use photogrammetry for maybe the trunk of the tree or maybe a branch, and then I bring that into SpeedTree and create the tree from those photogrammetry pieces, and then I use SpeedTree to actually attach the leaves separately. And you can scan the leaves as well. But remember, if you've got just a normal scanner, I don't know if people still have them, but in my printer, the top of the printer is a scanner. You can use that to scan leaves and stuff as well. And if you don't have a camera, but I guess everyone's got a camera now on their phone, but I'm just saying, you can actually use a scanner to scan leaves as well. I've done that before. Android Love says, time to make a mini photogrammetry rig. Use a Raspberry Pi. Actually, you can do it on your phone. There are apps on your phone you can use for photogrammetry. I wouldn't recommend them. They're not very good, but they are there. Sniper Girl says, yeah. Looking at scanning the individual leaves for big weeds and such and recreate the vegetation in Maya. Okay. Kappa Boats, thank you for the follow, Kappa. Welcome to Phil Does 3D, and thank you for following the channel. I do appreciate it, guys, when you follow me. I'm live every Monday, Tuesday, Kappa, at 5 p.m. Pacific in the US. So if you want to know when I stream, my schedule doesn't change. It's 5 p.m. every Monday and Tuesday. And having said that, guys, I'm not streaming next week, I'm afraid. I can't do next week. I've got other stuff I have to do, but I'll be back after that, the week after that. So, yeah, but apart from that, every Monday, Tuesday, 5 p.m, except for next week. There'll be no streams next week. But I'm back the week after. Okay, I don't know that we really need anything more on the ground, so let's look towards the ceiling now for some cobwebs. Let's start with this door. Maybe. I'm just trying to look around the room to make sure I try and balance this up a bit. So instead of maybe putting cobwebs, cobwebs up in this corner might look alright. Sniper Girl says, old tutorial with Substance Designer, if you have multiple angles of light sources, can calculate the normal height information. Can be done with vegetation as well as various... that's interesting. You should post that in the Discord, Sniper Girl, if that's the case, because, again, Designer, I don't use Substance Designer, I use Substance Painter. Substance Designer can be a bit more difficult to use. It's a much more full-on program. It's a good program. But it's one, because I don't need to use it often enough, it's not one that I've really devoted a lot of time learning. Let's grab this cobweb here. If I can get in close enough to select it. Let's pull that over. Let's bring it up. We're going to rotate it, I think. All the way around. Actually, let's rotate it this way and a little bit this way. Actually, I want to rotate it all the way around that way. And maybe this way and this way. I want to bring it right up into the corner in the door jamb, the door frame. Now, down a bit. Maybe bring it over a bit. Should be alright. You're posted on Discord? Cool. Smurf says, I wish Reality Capture had good indie license. Yeah, they don't really have a good indie license. They should. It'll be really popular with the indie developers. Having said that, though, there is I believe you use Agisoft, don't you, Smurfberry? What's it called now? Metashape, Agisoft Metashape. And it's good too. I mean, they're all very good. They all get the job done. The reason Reality Capture is the one that I tend to use is because it does the entire processing of the images on the GPU, and anything done on the GPU is always faster than the CPU. And our Metashape, Agisoft software, it does some stuff on the GPU as well to speed stuff up, but not as much as Reality Capture does. Although I haven't updated Metashape in a while, so that might have changed recently. I should look at that again. Okay. And I think a spider web, maybe in this corner over here might look cool. So let's duplicate this one again. Snappy Girl says, oh my god, the same. Smurf says, oh, that reminds me that Meshroom finally released a new 2020 build. I haven't tested it yet, but I should post that on Discord. Yeah, do. Meshroom is completely open source and free, so if you want to play with photogrammetry and you don't want to spend any money, Meshroom is good. Check it out. Download it. Play around with it. If nothing else, it'll give you a good grounding in how to use photogrammetry. So if you do want to buy any software down the line, you'll already know how to use it properly. So definitely check out Meshroom. And Smurf has just popped Meshroom in the on the Discord server, so if you are interested, jump on the Phil Does 3D Discord and you'll find all the info you need there. Again, just type exclamations Discord in Twitch chat to get an invite to join the server, or click on the graphic in my About Me panel to get an invite link for the server. Thank you, Smurfberry. Click that link Smurf has just popped in Twitch chat if you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server. And if you want to show off your work, post it in the gallery. If you want to link to your ArtStation or your portfolio, post that as well. You're welcome to do that under the Folios and Demo Reels sub chat in the Discord server. You don't have to be a sub in the room called Folios and Demo Reels. Smurf says it only took like a year and a half. Sniper Girl says tried Metashape last year, still slower than Reality Capture. Yeah, Reality Capture is the fastest I've come across so far. It's faster than context capture, and context capture costs, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. Reality capture is still faster. I don't really know why the other companies don't do what Reality Capture do and do the whole process on the GPU. It uses CUDA, I believe. So I think you may need a NVIDIA GPU for Reality Capture. That may have changed, but that used to be the case because it used CUDA to actually do the processing. That's probably the reason these other software don't do that, because they don't want to restrict people to have to buy an NVIDIA card. So yeah, but it's the fastest I've come across, Reality Capture. And when you start working with hundreds of photographs, if you're doing photogrammetry, it can take a long time to process them if it's all being done on the CPU and not the GPU. So faster is better. I know there are services that will do it for free for you, but you'll have to upload the model to their server, and their server actually does the calculation for you. I'd be very careful of those companies, because in the terms of those agreements you sign when you upload your model, they actually have copyright control over the model. Then if they're processing it on their server for you, then they get copyright on the model. So, and I don't like that. I mean, if I went to the trouble to take the photographs and I want to turn it into a 3D model, I want to keep the copyright on it. I don't want to give it up to some company because they're just processing it for me. So just be aware of that if you do use some of these online services that will do it for you. Do it yourself. Use Meshroom, because it's open source and free. Don't upload it to one of these servers and give up your copyright on the model. Bugger them. If they want copyright on models, they can go out and take the photos themselves. Sniper Girl says, if you don't have tools or a place to store tools, does anyone know if you can buy pre-cut wood? I'm not sure. Well, what sort of pre-cut wood though? I'm not sure what sort of pre-cut wood you want to buy, Sniper Girl. Andrew Luss says, Meshroom is the only one I've tried. I think Lowe's and Home Depot cut wood for you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do too. We have hardware stores here like Bunnings that will cut wood for you. If it's just wood, you can buy it from them and tell them to cut it up however you want. Smurf says, yeah, I don't think anything is faster than Reality Capture. Yeah, it's the fastest. I've not found anything faster than Reality Capture, personally. Andrew Luss says, if you have Lowe's or Home Depot near you. Smurf says, CUDA basically won, so I don't know why Agisoft hasn't gone full GPU. But again, they may not want to restrict people that have AMD graphics cards from using their software. That would be the only reason I could think, because you can't run CUDA on an AMD graphics card. It's exclusive to NVIDIA. Although NVIDIA now are moving to what they called OptiX or OptX or something, at least in the ray tracing field. So it used to be like, I'll use V-Ray as an example because you guys know I use V-Ray at the Archviz studio. In V-Ray you can choose to either render on the CPU or on using CUDA, using the GPU. But there's a new option now that they call RTX in the V-Ray settings. This is the real-time GPU rendering, which doesn't use CUDA, doesn't use your CPU, but it uses the RTX cores on an RTX 20 or 30 series graphics card to speed up the render, and it's actually faster now than CUDA, at least in V-Ray. They are going to be releasing an update to V-Ray soon that will allow you to use both the CPU and the new OptX RTX cores in an NVIDIA graphics card. At the moment, you can't use the CPU if you choose to use what they call it RTX in V-Ray, but it's these, the new cores inside of the RTX graphics cards, whatever they're called. I can't remember what they call them. But you have the choice with V-Ray. You can either use CPU and CUDA, or you can use these new RTX cores. And the CUDA is still really fast, but the RTX stuff is becoming faster now, particularly with the new 3000 series graphics cards, because they have so many more, what do they call them? So many more cores or whatever in them. They've sort of like doubled the amount of, we'll call them CUDA cores, but they're not really CUDA cores. So like they used to have maybe 3000 something from 2080 CUDA cores, and the new graphics cards, the 3080 and the 3090 so far, have 8,000 something and 10,000 something. So they've really gone to town with the CUDA cores. But they don't call them CUDA cores. They've got because they've changed the architecture, so it's all a bit different now. But anyway, it's faster. Sniper Girl says to Android Lust, well, look at that. Want to make a light rig? Hammers, nails are super easy to get and place anywhere. Just the actual wood storage and tools and such to cut them. Yeah, no, like Android Lust says, I know in this country we have hardware stores called, like, we call them Bunnings is one of them, or Mitre 10. You go there, they sell the wood, they'll cut it for you to whatever lengths you want. So, easy. I'm sure that you've got them in the US if we have them here. Sniper Girl says, figure pre-cut wood to specifications and then assemble. That sounds like a good plan. Smokeberry says, OpenCL doesn't attract as many devs because it isn't as sexy. OpenCL is the AMD equivalent to CUDA. So AMD created OpenCL, or used OpenCL. I think AMD created it. Don't quote me on that, but I think they did. Whereas NVIDIA used CUDA. But now, yeah, they're moving actually away from, well, they're still developing CUDA, don't get me wrong. But then there's this other thing now called RTX or OptX or something they're calling it, NVIDIA, which takes advantage of RTX stuff. Euro, yo, it's good to see you, Euro. Sorry it took me a while to catch up with the chat. I hope you're well. I hope you had a good weekend. Smurf says mesh room requires CUDA. Oh, okay. So you do need an NVIDIA graphics card if you want to use mesh room. Euro says OptiX is their denoiser. Oh, is it? Okay, I'm getting confused then. I know with V-Ray they have an option to either use CUDA or what they call RTX in V-Ray. I always assumed RTX was OptiX, but again, yeah, I've only briefly looked into it. I usually set and forget when I'm using V-Ray. But the denoiser is, speaking of their denoiser, NVIDIA's denoiser, it is very good, the NVIDIA denoiser. V-Ray comes with two options, I believe, for denoising. The one that comes with V-Ray, and then you can also use the NVIDIA one. And the NVIDIA one I found to be better. It's actually the same in Vue, VUE, that software I use to do environments in, 3D environments. You have the two choices there as well. You can either use the default denoiser or NVIDIA's denoiser, and NVIDIA's is much better. I'm just keeping an eye on my camera there to make sure this virtual green screen isn't going weird, and it just held up really well. Again, it's NVIDIA broadcast. It's quite amazing. Euro says OpenCL is pretty fast too for those not on NVIDIA. Euro says OpenCL is Kronos. Oh, okay, Kronos. Okay. Smurpery says CUDA is the scientific compute platform. Nothing is replacing it. No, well, yeah. Okay, fine. I've been schooled. There you go. I knew that NVIDIA. I didn't suggest NVIDIA were going to drop support for CUDA because they've just released a new version of CUDA. I believe it's 11. But I don't program in CUDA, so I don't really follow it that well. Smurpery says it's got nothing to do with rendering. No, CUDA is used in V-Ray to do GPU rendering. It is used. It is one of the options you can turn on in V-Ray real-time GPU is CUDA. You can do CPU and CUDA. They're actually called CPU, tick, CUDA, tick. Or they've got another option now in V-Ray called RTX that you can switch to, which makes use of the special cores in RTX graphics cards. and it is very fast. I have compared renderings between the two, and the new RTX feature in V-Ray 5.05, I believe it is very fast. Okay, let's jump back into the other room so I can grab a different looking spider web. I want to grab this one. If I can select it. Yes, I know, Android Lust, I'm in an area I shouldn't be in, but you know, like I said, it can't be helped. They can just deal with it at the studio. Okay, where do we want this spider web? I think we might want one here. So let's rotate it around. I'm going to turn angle snapback on. Let's throw it over in this corner down. Down here. And let's copy it and put another one. Another one where? Maybe up here. Oh, stop that. Sniper Girl says to Android Lost, posted a tutorial on making a scanning box, looking at making something a tad similar. Means I don't know how to weld. Pardon me, how to weld. Might be a good starting point for ideas. I don't know how to weld either, Sniper Girl, so pardon me. Just gonna have a quick coffee. I can do woodwork, but I can't weld. I've never, not had practice with welding anything. Did I copy that or not? No. Although it has been many years since I've done woodwork. Well, let's rotate this one around. And then we'll put it in this corner over here. Okay, so we got one there, we got one there. Andrew Loss says, let me check it out. Yura says, I installed AMD's Pro Render in Max last week out of curiosity. Renders fine, although without AMD Pro GPU, it rendered on the CPU. Yura says, throws all the cores at things. You've got it. Was it you that has a 3950? Did you buy, was it a 3950 that you purchased, Euro? I could be wrong. 3900. Sweet. All those cores, nice. Sniper Girl says, looking at instead of welding metal pipes, do PVC is much easier to work with. Should get the same results, yeah. It's just as strong for what you want. Well, not as strong, but it's strong enough. PVC is much easier to work with. That would be my recommendation. I think it's a great idea. Andrew Loss says, personally, if it requires welding, it would be a no-go for me. Sniper Girl says, tutorial does, but can look at it as a guideline of how it could be done and not an absolute. They're talking about copper pipes and welding. In PVC, you can use glue, as Sniper Girl says to Euro, yeah. Hellforge, thank you for the host, and it's good to see you, buddy. How are you? Again, it's really early for Hell. It's early for a lot of you guys in Europe, I know. I do appreciate it when you can catch my stream because I know how early in the morning it is there. So. And thanks for popping those links in Twitch chat. There's the Discord link Hellforge has popped in. And if you want to wishlist the game you see me working on right now, you can click that link and go to the Steam store page. Good morning to you too, Hellforge. Good very early hours of the morning to you. And Euro says that's 2:11 in the morning. Man. So, do you guys ever sleep? I can't talk. It's not unusual for me to work until 2 or 3 in the morning. I do that quite a lot. I shouldn't, but I do. And then I get up at like 6:30. Hellport says, tired as heck, just finished a 14 hours. You did a 14-hour stream. Hellforge is a streamer as well. You guys should check his stream out when he's streaming on Twitch. 14 hours? Man, I couldn't do 14. That would just kill me. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how these people do that sort of thing. People do 24-hour streams. I mean, that would absolutely kill me. Made some sort of progress. Well, that's the important thing, but still, you shouldn't... I don't advocate for people that are streamers to do really long streams. I think it's really bad for your health. But hey, it's your body. You do what you want. But making some good progress is good to hear. Sniper Girl says, what I'm looking at doing is on the walls going to use a wooden frame and instead of a solid wall, use a diffuser fabric photographers use, yep, and just manually move the light where I need it to avoid needing switches, fuses. Okay. A good trick if you don't have proper photography diffuser fabric, which, as Sniper Girl says, is what photographers use. You can use baking paper. So on the cheap, if you want to diffuse a light, use baking paper. It's basically what you line the inside of baking tins with if you're going to bake a cake so it doesn't stick. It won't burn easily anyway, so you can use it right up against a light bulb. And it will diffuse the light for you nicely. Not as good as proper fabric, but in a pinch, you can use baking paper. Sniper Girl says, what the hell is sleep? You don't, man, people don't kill yourselves. I mean, seriously. Everything's still cool. My Twitch chat in Streamlabs just flashed at me. I don't know what caused that, but everything seems fine. I'm still streaming. Am I? Yeah, no, everything's good. Sniper Girl says, hang on, let me catch up here. Euro says, I do sleep, but I'm back working, so trying to get ahead of schedule again, putting in the extra now so I can relax the rest of the time. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I couldn't stream because they pushed a deadline up on me. I mean, it's one thing to get a deadline, but then they move it forward so that they brought it forward by a week. And that sort of really threw me into a tears. I was working long hours. I mean, really, come on. Give me a deadline and stick to it. Don't move it forward. Sniper Girl says to Hellforge, oh my god, wow, 14 hours. I think Hellforge says, if I can do whatever I want with my body, I'll drink some coffee. You can do whatever you want. You're in complete control of your body, guys and girls. If you want to have coffee, you want to do 14, 24, 48 hour streams, hey, that's your prerogative. I wouldn't advise it, but anyway. Yeah, and do check Hellforge actually does stream on Twitch. Just click his username there and I'm sure it'll take you to his Twitch page. And Hellforge, I believe, uses Blender with 3D software. Coffee, Sniper Girl says, yes, we all like coffee. Smurf says, yeah, I just remembered that I'm running on less than 5 hours. Man, you people. Look, I can't talk. I will work until 3 in the morning, and I get up at like 6:30. So what is that? That's what, 3.5, maybe 4 hours sleep. But I don't do that all the time. Like, I don't work till 3 in the morning every day of the week. I only do that when I really have to, or if I'm really. Sometimes I just get so caught up in what I'm working on, I forget what the time is, and before I know it, it's like 3 in the morning. So I'm so involved with what I'm doing, but I try not to work late because I get up early. Because you really need a minimum 5 hours sleep a night, minimum. I mean, 8 hours is recommended. 5 hours would be minimum. Unless you're Margaret Thatcher, I believe when she was running the country over there in Britain, didn't she survive on like 3 or 4 hours for like however long she was running the country for, years at a time. Look at what happened to her. Euro says to Sniper Girl, I'm assuming you could have a static scene with a fixed camera and program a turntable with an Arduino and a stepper motor to rotate your object by X degrees, take a pic, repeat. Yep. So yeah, that's true. Using a turntable is good for something that's small that can fit on a turntable. Smurf says, I was awakened against my will by yelling and couldn't go back to sleep. Don't you hate that? I've got neighbours. I have another apartment block virtually right beside mine. So my bedroom window looks into the bedroom window of another apartment that's next door with a gap of maybe, I don't know, what would it be? Maybe 12 feet between us. Like there's 2 balconies between us. And they were very noisy the other night. Out on their balcony, boozing it up, I'm assuming, the way they were talking and yelling. And I couldn't get to sleep. It was very annoying. And I have to keep my bedroom blind closed because, you know, I want to get changed in my bedroom. I'm going to be putting on a show for the neighbour. So my blind in my bedroom is pretty much constantly closed. Which isn't great, but what can you do? So I feel for you, Smurf. Sniper Girl says the Euro could get away with that. Problem is, with surface scanning, you need the light angle at specific angles to use Substance Designer. The Euro says coffee is most important meal of... I'll drink to that. It is the most important meal, and I have like 6 of them a day, so... I love me my coffee so much. I'd just fall in a heap on the floor if I wasn't drinking coffee. Hellforge says, I was so close to finishing the model part of the piece I'm working on, so I figured I'd just push through and get over the final bits. Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. It's cool. I don't know about you, but I find streaming very exhausting. I can do these 2-hour stints. Maybe it's because I just don't shut up. Maybe that's why it's so exhausting. Generally, when I'm working on my own, I don't talk to myself. But, you know, I find it very, very exhausting. Hellforge says Blender, Substance Painter, Designer, and Unreal Engine. That's the software Hellforge is using. Euro says I sleep minimum of 8. 8 is good. Getting 8 hours sleep a night is healthy. Euro says sometimes 12. I can't sleep that long. I can't. Yeah, 8 is generally my maximum. I can't sleep for longer than 8. 6. I try for 6. I try for 6 hours a night. Not always succeed. Sometimes I only get 4 or 3, but I try for 6. I can't do 12. Hellforge says unless there's something I've overlooked, I just have material and composition left. Sounds good. Android Lust says 12 hours to Euro. Euro says, yeah, sometimes if I stay up extra long, I auto make up for it. No, that's fair enough. If you've only got 3 hours sleep the night before, then doing 12 the following day, then that's fine. Not saying, you know, it's bad. Although sleeping too much can be bad. Too much sleep is bad, too little sleep is bad. You've got to get that balance right in the middle. It's supposed to be worse for your heart, basically. They say the longer you sleep, it's because you're laying flat. Your heart, it's not great for your heart or something. That's what they say. I don't know. But you young'uns, it should be fine. Your heart will be strong. Euro says extra long for me is like 20 hours. 20 hours sleep, man. The only time I used to sleep for that long was when I'd been out partying for 3 days without sleep beforehand. Even then, I don't think I did 20 hours at a stretch. Smurfberry says, today I went and got a coffee for the first time since before the pandemic. I think, really? Man, how do you do that, Smurfberry? How can you not have coffee every day? As an American, come on. We're still in lockdown in Melbourne, the city I live in. We were supposed to come out of lockdown on this Sunday, but the Premier of our state has decided we didn't do good enough and the numbers are still too high and they're going to keep us in lockdown for God knows how long. So God knows when I'm going to be able to get my hair cut. It's been like 2 months now. I'm still in lockdown and we're still going to be in lockdown for the foreseeable future. Which is fine. Look, I get it. I don't mind being in lockdown. I understand. I'd rather people were healthy and safe and alive than open everything up so Phil can go and get his hair cut and then have people die. I mean, no, I don't want that. So I'm happy to be in lockdown. I would like it to end. I'd like the numbers to come down so I can go out and get my hair cut. But what can you do? Snoke. Let me catch up with the chat. Hellford says, yeah, I'm mentally fried after the stream, so I'm just hanging out here and recharging. Well, that's cool. You just hang out, chill out, relax, and listen to Phil motor mouth on, as usual. Nero says, welcome back into the fold, Smurfberry. That's right. One of us. Sniper Girl says, I get 5 to 6 hours and I'm good the next day. Yeah, well, 6 hours is good. 5 or 6 hours will be good. Nero says, no 20 plus hours awake. Sniper Girl says, Nero, wow, 20 hours. Hellford says, you're still a younger spring chicken. You're still a young spring chicken, Phil. Well, thank you, Smurfberry. Of course, if you ask Sniper Girl, she calls me grandpa, so, you know. She's just rude. And she'll get a pill slap. No, she won't. Yuri says, then sleep for like 12 hours. Mercury says, because I get 8 hours most nights, 8 hours is what they recommend. But you can function on 5 or 6. I mean, I sometimes have to function on 4. Smurf says, when I'm constantly on like 6 to 7, I need some coffee, but I haven't been on 6-hour sleep nights consistently for a while. Coffee doesn't stop me from sleeping, by the way, either. I can have a coffee right before I go to bed and I'm out like a light. I'm not one of those people that drinks coffee and then awake all day or all night. It gives me a buzz during the day to keep working, but I can have a coffee right before I go to bed and then I'm out like a light still. Sniper Girl says, we're opened up here in Marika. Wish we actually took it seriously. Android Dot says, fully opened in America. Yeah, I know you guys are. You guys are having a problem too at the moment, aren't you? A lot of infections. Halford says never closed in Sweden. That's right. They did never close down in Sweden. I don't know what to make of that. They had a lot of their elderly people die because they did not close down. I don't know. I would rather close down and be safe, but that's why I don't mind the lockdown. I don't want, Granny and Grandpa to die in an old people's home because they've caught corona. And they're the most people at most risk. And we've had a lot of people in elderly homes here die in the state that I live in Melbourne, in Victoria. So to keep them safe, I'm happy for us to be locked down. Not to keep everybody safe, myself included. I'm happy to stay locked down. But if it lasts too long, I'll just take out the clippers and do what I used to do, and I'll just shave it all off. I'll go back to a number 1. If worse comes to worse, I can always do that. Euro says, the coffee schedule, black coffee in the morning, white in the afternoon, and decaf after 6. Oh, yeah, decaf. What's decaf? Calvor says, that's right, never heard of it. I can't drink coffee without milk and sugar. It's just too bitter. So always milk and sugar for me. Sniper Girl says, I'm rude and yet I'm a mod. You, sir, are a masochist. That's right. Yuri says, I'm single-handedly keeping Colombia's farmers in business. Andrew Loss says, do you all even drink water? I have water. I drink water. You've seen me drinking it on stream. I do drink water. It's mainly coffee, though. Hellford says, isn't that just water with extra steps? Mercury says, I don't function on 5. Sniper Girl says, you, sir, are a masochist. Yes, I know. Mercury says, I'm that way too, Phil. I can have a large coffee before bed. No problem. Yes, I can. No problem at all. Indigo, so what? Says, hi, Phil. Just stopping in, and you seem really cool, and your stuff looks great. I hope everything is going great for you. Well, thank you, Indigo's what? Indigo's so what? My apologies. It's welcome to Phil Does 3D. You can't really tell what this is going to look like yet because I haven't got lit mode turned on and there's no lighting in the room yet. But if you want to get an idea, this is a game we're working on called The House on the Hollow that I'm doing for a game studio. You can actually wishlist it on Steam right now, and there's some. If you want to go to the Steam store page, there are some screenshots there that you can check out of the actual thing lit in different rooms, different parts of the game. Get an idea of what it's like. But welcome. It is going great for me, and I hope it's going great for you as well. Indigo, so what? Yuri says, in Sweden they mandated by law the wearing of masks, though. It's law here as well. You must wear a mask, at least in the state that I live in. You can get fined a huge amount of money if you don't wear a mask, which is fair enough. And at least they did that in Sweden, I guess. Euro says, Sniper Girl says, we're not that bad in the US, only 215,000 people dead from COVID. That's all. The president is doing a wonderful job. Yeah. He's immune for life now, isn't he? I think the news grab that I heard the other day was Mr. Trump saying he was immune for life because he caught the COVID, or the human malware, and now he's immune for life. I don't think it works that way, but Mr. Trump thinks it does, so. Anyway. Euro says, my island only had 24 cases since March. The lowest area in Scotland, sometimes being remote, ain't such a bad thing. Well, that's true. Only 24 cases since March. Wow. We've had thousands in the state that I live in. I think we're up to about 3,000, which is nothing compared to the United States or other countries like Britain or, a few of the other countries around the world have been doing it quite bad. Like, they've had a lot of infections, and we've had about 3,000 in Victoria, and we've had about 1,000 people die, I think. Actually, we must have had more than 3,000 infections, but I know it's about 1,000 deaths since the beginning of the pandemic. Smurpery says, that's definitely how it works. Okay, fine. Android Lust says, that's what Trump said. Yep, that's what he said. You never know with Mr. Trump whether he's being serious half the time, though. You know what I mean? He says such strange and outrageous things. I don't know what to make of Mr. Trump. I really don't. He's an odd one. He's a really odd one. Sniper Girl says, yeah, what he said, human malware, if you catch it and survive, only immune for about a month. After that, your antibodies tend to wear off. No, that's right. You don't get immunity if you've caught it. You might have some immunity for a short period of time, but not for very long. You can catch it again. Just because you've caught it once doesn't mean you can't catch it again. You can. And I think they found now that the more exposed you are to it, like how if you keep getting re-exposed regularly, that's when when it can put you in hospital, basically. It can put you in hospital at any time, but the more exposed you are to reinfection, the worse it could be. So. Sniper Girl says, but hey, Trump and science, right? That's right. Andrew Loss says, Trump is serious all the time. Yuri says, I'm pretty sure Trump is actually Borat. Oh, man. Okay, we need to get a few more cobwebs in on the ceiling and then we can do the lighting. So, oh, remember to save and drink coffee. Yes, I have not saved. Let's do that. And I can have a coffee while it saves out. Yes, I am still doing cobwebs, Hellforge. That's right. We will finish the cobwebs today. We will do lighting tomorrow. I'm just looking at the time. We will finish the attic tomorrow with lighting. Android Lust says water. You want me to have water? All right, I'll have water as well. Just for you, Android Lust. I had the coffee, now I have the water. Hellford says, mate, it's been like 3 weeks of cobwebs. It hasn't been 3 weeks of cobwebs. That's an exaggeration, and you'll get a fill slap if you're not careful. That is not true. It's been maybe 2 weeks of cobwebs. Hey, these are fiddly things to put up. You know, spiders can do it without thinking about it, but Phil has to really think about where he puts his cobwebs. Sniper Girl says, Trump is Borat with nuke codes. Surprised we are not all dead. Android Lust says water is greater than coffee. No, I won't ban you, don't worry. Snowberry says it's been 4. It has not been 4. It has not been 4 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So 4 streams. Ban him, Sniper Girl says. Hellforge says slap. You got to do a mod slap if you want to slap me, Hellforge. As a mod, you can do exclamation mod slap, and that will give Phil a slap. Yuri says, oh, I had my third Max 2021 crash yesterday. Oh, there we go. I got a slap. Thank you for that. Yeah, Yuri says, I had my third Max 2021 crash yesterday. I was messing around with double symmetries and was tweaking the symmetry axes, and it noped. Reloaded Max and it was fine. Still no idea what made it nope on me. Oh, well, that's Max. You know, that's what Max does. Keeps you on your toes. Never know when it's going to crash. What crashed on me the other day? My entire computer crashed on me when I opened up Calendar. Microsoft Calendar. It crashed my entire PC. Now, I don't know whether that's been a driver problem or something, but that was a new one. That's never happened to me before. It rebooted my computer. But I haven't had problems with Macs recently. Oh, it was Sniper Girl that did the mod slap. Yeah, so if you want to give Phil a slap, it's exclamation mod slap, like Sniper Girl just popped in there. I could make it Phil slap if you want mods. Would you want me to change the command from mod slap to Phil slap? Oh, actually, no, I can't. Phil slap is actually, no. Forget I said that. It has to be mod slap, I'm afraid. I need to change to make sure the names are different between moderators and subscribers. Sniper Girl says, did it for him. Yeah, thanks for that, Sniper Girl. What a trooper. Alford says, I just wanted to slap myself. Oh, okay. For exaggerating with the car. Okay. Android Lust says that's the first. Yura says, to be fair, it was a file I hadn't touched for a while, so it could have been some legacy issue from Max 2020. Sniper Girl says, what are good mods for? That's right. I can always rely on you guys. Okay, so probably enough cobwebs in that section. Maybe. Let's maybe. I'd like some cobwebs around the, somewhere near the eye. Like around here. Because the eye will be giving off a bit of light. So they'll show up. Euro says monitoring. Let me just see if there's a different cobweb I can pull in, because there are some 3 versions of this cobweb. This one up here I think is different. Yeah, this one's a little different. Let's bring this one in. See, I'm trying to stay out of that room. I'm trying to be good. Trying to bring it over without going through the hall. Sniper Girl says 0, but all this power. Euro says power. Did you buy a 3080 too? Do you have a 3080? Did you buy a 3080 Euro? Or are you just making an observation there? Has anybody bought one of the new NVIDIA? Can you buy one? I mean, that's the question. They've been out of stock everywhere since the release, pretty much. Snappy Girl says, I wish. Euro says no. Smurpery says living in the future with a 5080. Euro says low volume till 2021 apparently. Yeah, and I heard that as well. NVIDIA have said that stocks are going to be pretty tight until 2021, beginning of 2021. Well, AMD are due to release their graphics cards at the end of the month, I believe, as well. Sniper Girl says, honestly, looking at whatever AMD is working on, same Sniper Girl. Euro says, Sniper Girl says, will probably be better than NVIDIA. Look, it'll certainly be probably cheaper. Better, I don't know. I have a feeling that the Big Navi, or whatever they're calling it, for their graphics cards, are AMD. I don't think it will be as fast as the NVIDIA cards. That's just my guess, not based on anything. I could be wrong. Let's hope I am, because we want some competition. Competition is good. But I have a feeling it probably won't be as fast as, at least, it won't be probably as fast as the 3090 anyway. It may be faster than a 3080, or it may be about the same as a 3080. That's what I think. Anyway. 2 weeks tomorrow, Euro says. This is for the release of the AMD graphics cards. Android Lust says, I want more than 8 gig. Well, NVIDIA apparently are going to be releasing a 16 gig version of the 3080 and the 3070 and a 20 gig version of the 3080. That's the rumor anyway. That's supposed to happen around December, I believe. Again, rumors, who knows? But you're right, more than 8 gig. 8 gig is too little in this day and age. 10 gig is too little. You really, 16 gig. They should be doing 16 gigabytes on graphics cards now. That's Phil's opinion. Sniper Girl says, wow, nice. Android Lust says VRAM. Smurpery says, more bang for your buckaroonies. More bang for your buckaroonies. Well, that's true. Definitely with AMD. Euro says 16 gig plus VRAM, please. Yes. Sniper Girl says would be nice. Hellforge says, are the new AMD cards quiet? I've used them for most of my life, but I've never had a quiet AMD card. I don't know. I've always bought NVIDIA graphics cards simply because I use software like the Adobe Suite, which works best with NVIDIA. At least that's what I've found. Just the same why I've always bought Intel CPUs, because it's tended to work better. Having said that, I'm really interested in the new Zen, is it Zen 3 that the AMD just announced, not about a week ago? The new CPUs that are due out any in the next couple of weeks as well. They look really impressive. Single-threaded performance now looks like it's beating Intel, so that's interesting. Very interesting. Sniper Girl says, just know it will have real-time ray tracing, which is good because that's the way everything is going now. Hellforge says, they get crazy loud and crazy hot. Yuri says, that's old cards, Hellforge. Android Lost says to Hellforge, wouldn't mind the noise, but I don't want the heat. Yuri says, my mate has a 57 XT and can play games using all three of his 2K monitors at 60 frames per second. They are hardly the underdog. Yuri says, Zen 3 / Ryzen 5000. Yep, they're the new CPUs. And they do look sweet. Sniper Girl says, gas station scene, I'm wanting to do ray tracing, so an upgrade is needed. I can look, you know, the game that we're working on, it will have ray tracing as well. I was looking at what you posted in the tutorial section on the Discord, Sniper Girl. Cool. It will have ray tracing, and all new games now, because the consoles are going to support ray tracing, will be ray traced compatible. So my advice would be, yeah, get a card that can do ray tracing, whether it's AMD or Nvidia. My only concern with AMD is I want to, like, Nvidia have what they call DLSS, which is very good. I'm hoping that AMD have something that's just as good as that, because it really is an amazing thing to be able to use in a game, DLSS, particularly if you do want to use ray tracing, because ray tracing can tank performance a bit. But that's sort of offset if you have DLSS. Now, I'm hoping AMD will have something like DLSS, whatever they call it, whatever AMD decide to call it, because it's really cool. It's very, very good, DLSS, NVIDIA's DLSS. And the gas station scene, Sniper Girl, will look cool and ray traced. Sniper Girl says, with the next-gen systems using AMD GPUs, believe they do, yeah. Well, that's what I would have thought too. And AMD GPUs are in both the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox Series X, I think they're calling it. I always get it confused between the Xbox X and the Xbox Series X. The new consoles, anyway. Due out next month, in November, I believe. Okay. More cobwebs where? I think maybe we'll copy this one. I want to get the cobwebs finished today. I'm keen to start doing the lighting. Lighting is one of the most, is the part that I like probably the most. Don't get me wrong, I like modeling, I like texturing, I like the setup of the environment, but I really like the lighting. I like it when everything is in and I can start playing with the lighting. That's the most fun part for me. Let's rotate this around. Maybe let's rotate it. Maybe like that. Pull it over and up. Maybe we'll rotate it a bit more like that. It's not really going to work for me, because we don't have anything attached just there. Alright, let's see if we can do something here. Let's rotate it like that. Let's rotate it like that. pull it back a little bit. So we're sort of attaching it to that beam. Now we are going through the wall, so we can't have that. Let's pull it forward. Hero says, I was chatting the other day to someone deep in the games industry I know, and they asked associates how much VRAM they were targeting their next titles for, and all 5 of the people he asked said 16 gigabytes. So it's because the consoles have 16 gig. Now the consoles mix it's weird on a console. It's not like a video card we buy in our computer where you get 8 gigs, you get 10 gigs. That's the video card memory. On a console, they sort of divide the memory up between the operating system and the video card, so it's not quite the same. But having said that, the new console's 16 gig of RAM, and it's like DDR4 RAM, whereas video cards have got like GDDR6 plus or whatever it is now on NVIDIA. So it's not completely comparable. You can't really draw a comparison like that. But I know as a developer of this game, and that 8 gig is not enough. We're making do with 8 gig because we have to allow it for people that have graphics cards that aren't like the newest and best to be able to play the game. Having said that, you need an 8 gigabyte video card to play this game. Anything less than 8 gig, you're not going to have a good time. It might not even run, even if you turn down the graphics all the way. So I know from developing more than 8 gigabytes, please, 16 gig is the sweet spot. For sure. Snappy Girl says, nice. Euro says 5 people from different studios, by the way. Euro says, so that's 5 coming soon in the next few year titles that are targeting 16 gigabytes of VRAM. Android Lost says, which means that the 3080 is already obsolete. Why do you think that NVIDIA are talking about releasing a 20 gig version of the 3080? Now 20 gig is probably more than you'll need, depending on how long you want to keep the video card for, I guess. 8 gig, 10 gig, no. I would not buy an 8 gig video card now, or a 10 gig. Not if you're buying now. If you've already got one, fine. But the new cards, buy one with as much VRAM as you can. It's good for if you want to do development stuff as well, because more VRAM is always good. But if you just want to play games, yeah, I would say 16 gig is the sweet spot. I mean, I see people arguing on forums saying, oh, you don't need more than 8 gigabytes of video memory. No game made at the moment uses more than 8 gigs of video memory, blah, 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 blah. That might be true for now, but it's not going to be true for games that come out between now and the next couple of years. You are going to need more video memory. Game developers are going to use more video memory. If you give them the memory, they'll use it. Trust me. And the consoles having 16 gig available memory means that developers are going to use it. And we all know that we get a lot of games are ported from console to PC nowadays. So you're not going to get a good experience as good as the consoles if you don't have the video memory on your graphics card. It's just a fact. That's what's coming. It's not for what is it around at the moment, but down the line, you're certainly going to need more than 8. Well, yeah. To get the best experience, you'll need more than 8. You can still run the game with 8, but yeah. If you want to turn everything up to full, and particularly if you're working in high resolution or playing a game in a high resolution, like 2K or 4K, you're going to need that video memory. The higher the resolution, the more video RAM is used. Smurf says, my 8 gig of VRAM was forward thinking it lasted 4 years. Well, that's fine. And it'll still be okay for the next 12 months, Smurf. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you've got an 8 gig video card, don't think, oh, I'm going to have to sell it and buy a new one. You're not. It'll still work. It'll still be okay. You just might have to turn your textures down a bit. And that won't be for at least 12 months after the consoles will come out and developers have had a chance to actually make new stuff and release it. So you've still got time. And even when they do, it'll still be fine. You just might have to tone things down a bit or not run it at a really high resolution maybe. But if you know, we're the PC master race here. We like playing games on our PCs because that's the best experience you can get. Meaning that we can push graphics as far as they can go and we can run on really high resolution monitors, and all those sort of things are really going to start eating into the VRAM that you're going to need with next gen games. Trust me, I'm working in games development now. I'm doing a game. I know these things. I work with it all day, every day. So yeah, if you can find a graphics card with 16 gig, then you're going to be sweet for the next couple of years at least. And I don't upgrade my video card every new generation. I wait between I had a 1080, I didn't buy a 20 series, then I'd buy a 30 series sort of thing. I always skip a generation because I want good bang for my buck. If I'm going to upgrade my video card, I want it to be twice as fast. So that's generally the way I work. But you're going to get the best bang for your buck from a video card because everything uses the video card now, whether you're doing rendering, whether you're doing film stuff where you got to, encode for video, or whether you're playing games, they all use the video card. So that gives you your best bang for your buck because CPUs, they can throw more cores in them, fine, which is nice, but they don't get faster anymore. They're just pretty much just small percentages every year that Intel release a new CPU sort of thing, increases in performance, whereas a video card will give you a really big performance boost. Just like an SSD will give you a really big performance boost as opposed to a hard drive. Like you can feel the difference. Euro says it was obsolete when they released it. High VRAM cards are already confirmed by NVIDIA and add-in board partners. Yep. Android Lost says, which is why I don't know why people bought it. Euro says 3080, 20 gig, 3070, 16 gig. That's the rumour in December. That's supposed to be happening. Android Lost says, I guess the 8 gig was the test cards. Wouldn't you be annoyed if you bought a 3080, 10 gig 3080? Spent, I think it's like $700 US dollars to buy a 3080. And then in December, NVIDIA released a 20 gig version. Although, how much are they going to charge for it? That's the question. I have a feeling it'll be like $1,000 US dollars. It'll be like $999 US dollars or something. Sniper Girl says, yeah, that will. Memory is awesome. Euro says they're waiting on Micron to finalize 2 gigabyte DDR6X chips. Because, yeah, at the moment they're only 1 gig, aren't they? Euro says, I'm still on 1078 gig. Well, that's still a good card. Sniper Girl says, I have a 970 still, so really, really need an upgrade. Hellford says, save and copy. Yes, save and copy. Save and copy. I've only got a couple more cobwebs to put in. I want to get it done today. And then tomorrow we can start doing the lighting. And I want to show Android Lost's image as well in the gallery before I sign off. So Android Lost says, well, I was desperate to ditch the 970. Sniper Girl says, been an Intel and NVIDIA girl most of my life, looking at jumping ship. Well, the new AMD stuff is pretty sweet. Android Lost says they should charge $50 more for the newer 3080 just to piss people. Wouldn't that piss people? No, NVIDIA won't do that. NVIDIA will charge. You know what NVIDIA are like. They make good cards, but man, they charge for them. Let us copy. Let's copy this one. So we need some stuff over here. And we're going to put that. I might put that I just want to look at this side so I don't sort of put them in the same sort of spots. We're going to move this one back here. Down in this corner. And I'm going to duplicate it again. And we're going to move one up and over. And then we're going to copy this one. I know you guys are chatting away there. I just want to get this done. I'm going to move that up. Probably back. I'm going to rotate it around. Let's put it in between the wall and the frame of this window. In fact, I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees. I want like a mess of spider webs. Maybe up here. Mira says it's NVIDIA. They'll probably slap on $200. There's a huge gap in the price of their cards now. Yura says, I threw another 32 gig of RAM in my PC the other week. Oh, sweet. Android, the Sniper Girl says, nice. Yura says, honestly, day-to-day stuff, there's not much difference, but rendering is pretty great. Sniper Girl says, I can imagine. Android Lust says, I'm still on DDR3. Yura says, 64 gig was always my plan for this machine, so next GPU, I wait. So next is GPU, I wait. Sniper Girl says, looks like I spammed the tutorial section. You certainly did, but you put some really interesting stuff in there. Check those tutorials out on the Steam, on the Phil Does 3D Discord server, guys. Okay, how are we going? Oh, I think this is one more cobweb I want to put in. I want to put it in one that's attached to the to one of these light bulbs. So let's just grab this one. Duplicate. And we can bring it back and bring it over. I'm not sure if it's going to fit on the ball on the thing or not. We'll find out. I'm not sure how it's going to look. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's rotate it around. Bring it over. Bring it up. That should work. I just wanted some cobwebs on the bulb, on the cord for the bulb. I think we might be done with the cobwebs now. I don't think we really need any more. I think we've probably got enough. We can do a save, and then tomorrow I can start doing the lighting. So let's do a save. And we can look at Android Lust's creepy image he posted in the Discord server. Helpboard says Magic Voodoo Bacon and save. I miss the days of the 3DFX, Euro says. So do I. I remember having a 3DFX card. Smurfree says, we better be done with the cobwebs. We are done. Sniper Girl says, watch the next stream, more cobwebs. No, I think I'll control myself. We've got enough cobwebs. They're pretty much everywhere. We're done with the cobwebs. More tutorials in there, Sniper Girl. We're done with the cobwebs. I want to check this image that Android Lust has posted. So tomorrow when we come back, I'm going to start doing the lighting for the room. The fun part tomorrow, at least for me. I like doing the lighting. But we're just going to check out quickly the image that Android Lust has posted in the PhilDoes3D Discord server. If you're new to my channel and you want to know more about me, go to phildoes3d.com. So my Twitch username, put a .com on the end. There's links to all my social media and all that, my ArtStation, all that sort of stuff. But we're checking out Android Lust's really creepy image. That is so creepy. Look at the head on it. Look at the mouth. Look at the mouth on the thing, the teeth. Oh, it's creepy. And the fingers. I don't know about you, but anytime I see things that have got really long, elongated fingers, it just creeps me out. Creeps me out. The blood on the wall's a nice touch as well, Andrew. There's blood splatter here and on the floor. Oh, creepy. It's creepy. Good creepy, but creepy. Yeah, it looks great. Android Lust says, couldn't work on this one as long as I wanted. There was a week deadline and life got in the way. I think you've done a great job. It looks great and creepy. Creepy. Yes, it is creepy, Sniper Girl says. It is a good design. Yeah, it's really nice. And the blood. I like the blood. The blood looks cool. Perspective is neat. Yeah, again, Android Lust really has a talent for picking a good silhouette for his characters and setting up a scene perspective-wise to look really interesting. And he's chosen a really interesting angle to do the render on. It does. It looks really good. Even down to the way that the lighting is set up so that, you know, it's lit down here and not lit up here. It looks really cool. Very nice. Nice and creepy. Spooky creepy. Yeah, the perspective is neat, as Yura says. Android Lust says, this time I didn't use any concept, which I love using. Android Lust says, I love using concepts and I wish I did use one, but that wasn't an option. Well, I think you've done a great job. And not using a concept is good because it forces you to have to be creative. You know what I mean. I think you've done a great job. Looks really good. I like the lighting. As Euro says, I like the camera angle and the composition, the way you've set it up. It does. It looks really cool. Very creepy. I think, though, we might leave it there today, guys and girls. I'll be back again tomorrow, and we will finish the attic for the House on the Hollow by doing the lighting. The lighting is the very last step. I always leave it till last. And we're there now. All the cobwebs are in. There'll be no more cobwebs. No, there won't be any more cobwebs. It'll be lighting tomorrow. I do want to thank you guys and girls though for being here and hanging out and watching. I do appreciate it. I want to thank Healthwatch for the host. I want to thank Kappa for following the channel, and I want to thank Android Lust again for the subscription. Remember, guys, if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed it, please follow my Twitch page. You can get a reminder when I go live that way, or you can follow me on my Twitter at PhilDoes3D if you want a reminder that way, because I always post to Twitter when I go live. But my schedule doesn't change. It's every Monday, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Again, I'm not streaming next week, but I will be back tomorrow. You guys and girls take care, and hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. See you guys.